Hello everyone, this is Josh Vision, and I'm here to give my Season 2, Episode 4 review of Peaky Blinders. So in this episode, we have Alfie Solomon making a deal with Sabini. So this basically comes, into fruition basically through Sabini saying to Solomon that, listen, you're letting this young buck, this new dude, come into your territory, and despite y'all have some sort of alliance, he's the one that's really starting to take over, so on and so forth. So this is basically all that was needed to convince Alfie Solomon to basically turn against Tommy. So also in this episode, we have Michael making it clear that he wants to be part of the family business. He wants to basically be, I believe, the account bookie, basically, the account manager. And Tommy's against it, and he believes Paul will also be against it. Michael's mother. Michael's like, listen, you need an account guy, and 6 of the guys, that you had, they left because they were respectable men, and they realized what y'all do. But I know what y'all do. I don't care, and plus I don't mind, and we're family, and you can trust me. So you're better off having me do it since I already went to college for this. So I'm your guy. So I believe after this, Tommy speaks to, Michael's mother, Aunt Polly, about this. And at first, she's against it, but then Tommy's able to convince her. So she allows Michael to become, basically the gang's account guy. Also in this episode, we have the evolution of Tommy and May Charlton, I believe's relationship. So, as we know, May Charlton is basically the woman who Tommy hired to become basically his horse trainer. And we see throughout the episode how the relationship developed into basically, at one point, I believe Tommy notices the sexual tension, or at least the interest between each other, and he even offers her money just to bang. She's like, do you really think I'm here just to bang? Like, I'm not here to bang. I'm here to help your horse. And she talks about how she did some research on Tommy in regards to his history in the war and those medals he won for gallantry. Later on in the episode, we actually see them have quite passionate sex. Also in this episode, we see Michael befriend the character of Isaiah. Now, we've seen Isaiah probably an episode or 2 ago, basically boxing with Finn, the youngest brother of the Shelby family, and probably the youngest member of the Shelby family besides Ida's, 4-year-old boy whom she had with Freddie Thorne. So we see him and Michael, going to the bar. Now, keep in mind, Isaiah is basically the son of Jeremiah Jesus, I believe, who was basically the Jamaican priest friend of the Shelby family from season 1. So, and we also seen a glimpse of him actually around an episode ago during the reopening of the bar, after the bombing from the first episode of season 2. So they go in the bar, they're having a good time. Then this a-hole prick basically is mad at the fact that there's a black kid here, in the bar, and he doesn't want him to be served, basically. So the bar owner's like, listen, dude, it's not that big a deal. Dude, just let them drink. They're not disturbing anyone. And Michael says the same thing. So he gets up in Isaiah's face, and then Michael pushes the guy off him, and then a brawl happens. And Michael and Isaiah are just kicking everybody's tail to the point that the bartender, just to calm everybody down, is like, listen, do y'all know that this kid over here is a Shelby, and that this kid over here is a friend of the Shelby family? So once that happens, the guy that started the whole thing, that prick, he's scared crapless. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know. Please don't tell your uncles that please don't tell them." So after that, you see Michael and Isaiah. They're just laughing about it, and it kind of takes you back to season 1, because you see Michael early on in season 2 when we meet him. He's very quiet, and then it seemed like after that fight, it was like an initiation, into the culture. Because him and Isaiah are basically being groomed to be the next generation of the gang, essentially. And we also see during this point of the episode that Michael begins smoking, because in the first episode, well, like the episode beforehand, he didn't smoke. Now he's starting to smoke. So after that, you see Michael and Isaiah go speak with Arthur, Finn, and John. Now, as I mentioned before in other reviews, Finn is not a fighter like his brothers, and apparently not like his cousin, because Michael can fight. He can fight just like Arthur and John, and Tommy. Finn's not a fighter, and you can see like Arthur and John's really impressed by Michael's scrappiness, also Isaiah's scrappiness, but they kind of treat Finn like he's a child. Like when they were gonna go handle the guy that did that to Isaiah and Michael, Finn was gonna join with them, but they're like, just push him down like he was a kid, and it's interesting how that might how that frustration might boil over in Finn, because it's obvious he's not really taken as seriously as even Michael at this point, who just got into the family probably like a few months at this point. So yeah, also in this episode, I believe we also have Tommy meeting up with Chief Inspector Campbell. Now, we remember from earlier in the season that he's kind of getting blackmailed to do this favor for Campbell. And remember those two people we saw in the beginning of season 2, episode 1, those members of, I believe, the Patsies or something, or Patty gang, whatever. So either way, they're the ones that are basically anti-Crown, yet they're working with the Crown because they both want this specific person dead. And this specific person is Henry Russell, who apparently is a soldier, some type of sergeant soldier from back when Tommy, John, and Arthur went to war, in France. But Tommy doesn't want to deal with this. He's like, listen, this is ridiculous. If I kill this dude, it won't be just because of like politics. It'll be criminal, and they'll automatically come for me. So it's gonna screw me and my fam and my gang. So like, screw this. I don't want anything to do with this. Now the a-hole, the guy who for some reason just talks so ballsy to like Tommy. It's like, dude, have you not done your research on Tommy? Tommy is a killer. He can, and Tommy, if you look at the dude, like Tommy could beat his tail. You just could tell Tommy could beat him up. But this guy, whatever. So he's like, he leaves the meeting saying he ain't gonna kill the guy. And Campbell's like, listen, dude, come on. He's trying to convince him. He's trying to play nice. And he's like, dude, that guy is basically a snitch. You can't trust him. And he has and all these, basically all the Irish, he's talking about how the Irish family, all these Irish families are really huge, cousins, aunts, all this stuff. And that Campbell does not want to put himself in a situation in which he's put in a world in which he does not understand nor can get out of or deal with. So Campbell says, listen, I'll prove that I'm serious about this and not going, basically my loyalty to making sure nothing happens to you, whatever way you want me to do this. So Tommy says, kill the guy. So not long after, he's dead. And I believe some coal miner finds the guy's body basically in a pile of coals, basically, a coal mine. So after that, we have Arthur and John go to the bar where that guy who started the whole fight with Michael and Isaiah, due to the fact that Isaiah was black, they catch him, they beat the holy hell out of him, and they set the bar on fire. And even, not only that, they literally set the bar, like when you go to the bar, the bar tab, whatever, they had the guy right there and even set him on fire through that. It was a really crazy scene. Like I mentioned before, with Tommy and May having sex. It was like they were having sex while this beatdown and flesh burning was happening. That was the funny yet crazy, heinous thing about this. So after that, we have John and Arthur walking back to the bar, and Michael and Isaiah leaving, and Michael saying, "Hey, what do y'all do?" And they're like, "Hey, don't worry about it. We didn't do it for you. We did it to send a message." So, yeah, that was basically, I believe, everything important that happened. Oh yeah. Besides that, we had Campbell meet up with Mr. Shelby, Thomas Shelby, in the church, and Shelby making his peace with God because he knows this mission is very serious and he could possibly die from this. So he tells Campbell that, listen, if I die, I just want you to know that I have people in places, lots of places that will ensure your death as well. So if I'm effed, then you're effed. Also in this episode, we see Grace again. I believe Shelby calls her, right? And we see, we finally see her, after 4 or 5 episodes, first time this season. And she has a nice new hairstyle, by the way. So I believe that's all that, you know, really happened, you know, important in this episode. So yeah, oh yeah, one more thing. We're introduced to, I believe Thomas said something about, he was speaking to Adam about something about getting his affairs in order. So it kind of connects to the last thing I just mentioned. So I believe that's all that was very important in the episode. I probably didn't get everything in this episode, but I believe I got the main things, the main, you know, juice of it. So thank you guys for watching my review discussion. I'll give this episode like 9.5 out of 10. Great, awesome. Adios, you guys.